Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for finding the time to visit today's webinar. My name is Lexi, and I am a member of Ateneo Speed.
And I am Steph, and I am a member of Ateneo Speed.
Welcome to Connecting with Down Syndrome, another webinar series of hands-on inclusion.
In this world, there are people who are not born perfect. And also in this world, there are people who don't look like us. And in this world, there are people who are born with different conditions. One of them being trisomy 22. Trisomy 22 is a biological condition where, as a FYI, the 22nd chromosome has 3 copies instead of the usual 2.
So, here goes. What is Down syndrome? The most common genetic cause of what we call now as intellectual disability, as we are trying to veer away from the word mental retardation. Next slide, please. So what are some facts about it? Boys and girls are equally affected. It happens in about 1 out of 600 or 800 births. And this is why it's called trisomy 21. There's an extra from the 46 chromosomes that we have becomes 47. And saying that it's a genetic accident means there was nothing the mother or father did to have a child with Down syndrome. Most common type is the non-disjunction, which accounts for about 95%. Mosaicism is about 1 to 2%, and the translocation type, which is 3 to 4%. What are some clinical signs associated with Down syndrome? You have hypotonia, that's low muscle tone, like a rag doll. Poor motor reflex, hyperflexibility of the joints where you can move this, a flat facial profile. Probably this is seen initially, but not quite when they're a little bit older, where they're always full of smiles and laughter. Your slanted palpebral fissures, your auricles, low set ears, a simian crease, but having a simian crease doesn't make you have Down syndrome right away, okay? We know of some typical children, adults who have that simian. So in ending, I'd like you to, again, be able to connect with the Down Syndrome Association of the Philippines. If my memory serves me right, we're celebrating our 25th year or even more. And there has been a Down syndrome walk virtually that just happened. And let's continue to be able to accept all children with special needs and have respect for them and include them in everything that we do. This last photo, can we show it? Okay. These are pictures of 21 of the children with Down syndrome I've been taking care of. This must have been about 6 years ago when we had a photo exhibit for each one of them. I remember them, and I still look out for many of them, even as they grow older, and look at all their smiles. A whole new world of perfect. So let's celebrate all children with Down syndrome, without Down syndrome, those with abilities and special abilities, because we would like them to be part of our world. And that is one world that is inclusive and respectful of each child. Thank you very much, and good afternoon.
A lot of that information, especially right away, like maybe from the doctors that said, they apologize that your child has Down syndrome instead of saying congratulations, because every child has something to offer of society and every person does. So I think we have to different we'd look at how do we define what success is or what a productive person in society is. For me, I use the acronym CELEBRATE, and we'll go through each one. This opportunity, I really appreciate that everyone is spending time and trying to make sure that we can create more awareness for people and their families that have people with Down syndrome. And did you want to say something, JC? What do you want to say about Down syndrome? JC is 6 years old. So she's always had a sister with Down syndrome because her sister's 8 years old, right? So what do you want to say about Down syndrome? What's your experience? What do you want to share?
It's hard for you to know what she's talking about sometimes, but it won't help if you just give up. You have to try and ask them to do it again or say it again.
So it's hard sometimes to understand what she's saying or what she wants, but you can't give up on her. Mm-hmm. And you just keep asking her?
Yeah.
And you'll just try to say it a different way or try to guess what she's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about having a sister with Down syndrome?
I like it because if she didn't have Down syndrome, then she would be really mean to me.
She'd be really mean to you?
Yeah, because she's 8 already.
She's 8?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that we know that Joey is like a great ate, huh? Mm-hmm. She loves you. Like just having lunch earlier today, Joey out of nowhere will just say, I love you, JC. Right? Yeah. So she has a sister that totally loves her, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I we know that our children are like everyone else. But they are very lovable, and she does see the good in everybody. So she loves her little sister a lot, and they don't argue a lot, huh?
Oh, we sometimes do, but not a lot.
Not a lot, yeah. So that's our family life, and of course you can always find Miss Possibilities, the Facebook page, and you can always look for my name on Facebook. I'll be happy to help with any questions that you may have, or anything that you need support with. So just please let us know.
And nasa Bible po, as iron sharpens iron, so does man sharpen another man. So may God use us to sharpen each other today. Pag po ma-stress, di ba ako pastor, this is how I make sense of things. I hope you'll hear me out on this, and I hope this can be a safe space for us to learn and exchange ideas. I will share my strategies of leading my children with or without disabilities, helping them cope and thrive, and them coping with us, and helping us cope and thrive with them. And next slide. And grow. And also growing a community that supports that growth. And raising community champions, not just for my children, but for other children with disability like them, and other families with children with disabilities like us. It takes a village to raise a child. So, yun po. Yung Ujima daw po is a Swahili word meaning collective work and responsibility. So, what we're gonna do to actually raise our children is raise up a community that supports them. So, parang kagaya nung bayanihan word natin. So, next slide. Yung bayanihan na word, from the word bayani is hero, we can create caring communities for our children. We can be the hero that they need. We can be the hero that each child needs, especially those with disability or special needs. In the picture, we would see different professions, similar to the different professions that we need in our child's team to raise them well. Lahat important and has a role to play. So you'll see may police, may cook, may teacher, may pare, may doctor, may fireman. Everyone is important in raising the kind of community that we need to support children with disability and eventually persons with disability. Next slide, please. So, as parents, I believe we need to do a lot of research. See, most of the time, our children stays at home. Yes, we bring them to professionals, we bring them to doctors, to therapy and all. But mas mahaba pa rin yung time na ni-spend nila sa bahay. So, natatandaan ko yung sabi nung doctor ng anak ko, kung hindi daw namin isusupport yung therapy sa bahay, sasayang lang daw kami ng pera. So, what did I do? I used Google. I made him my friend. So, kung hindi ko alam yung gagawin or how to support my child, I Googled it. And dun sa mga walang internet or sabi nga, kung gusto, maraming paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan. Sa bawat munisipyo po, may free internet access na kinakabit yung DICT. So, pag wala pa sa inyo, makipag-pen-pal po tayo sa Presidential Complaint Center and kindly ask them to ask the ICT to help our community in your behalf. Pwede po yun. Wag pong mahiyang magtanong. We are actually saving government money by making sure that our children grow up to be productive citizens. Kasi instead of them spending 15% of GDP on welfare, our children can afford to pay taxes in the future if they are enabled to be productive citizens of our country. Sobrang na-inspire po ako dun sa girl with Down syndrome na teacher na ngayon. She was able to finish college. I can just imagine how empowered her parents are to really fight for the right of her child to receive that quality of life. And I believe na each parent should have that heart that will fight for the right of our child to lead empowered lives, that they can be productive citizens of our country. I'm not asking na every one of us will have like a child like that girl, but I'm saying may talent yung isa-isa nating anak. At kung ano man yon, kailangan nating i-develop at palabasin para makapag-contribute sila sa lipunan natin. So, napakadami pong resources online. What I'm asking is we research and apply. So, apply po natin yung mga nababasa natin. I've read this link. There are 42 resources. I'm gonna show you that later. Now, pwede nating basahin para
but they might have learning disabilities or dyslexia. You don't have intellectual. But for Down syndrome, I think it's both, because once you have intellectual disability, it will be harder for you to learn.
Anything to add, Ms. Mona?
I agree to what Ms. Yuson said earlier, but it can be both for some people eh. Siguro for me lang yung question sa mind ko kasi yung work ko kasi bilang problem solver, paano kaya natin compensate yung mga bata with intellectual disability so that we can make more children with Down syndrome, like I think her name is Brianna ba? Tama ba yung naging teacher? She was able to finish college. So I'm into training. So kung yung isang person,
It's Rina, you know?
Rina, yeah, Rina. Diba amazing? So kasi kung meron ka sa isang team, di ba nakita mo yung isang person, meron siyang best practices. Yung goal mo is, as a leader, is paano mo maipapakopya yung best practices nung magaling mong staff dun sa iba. Parang ituturo mo yung ginagawa niya dun sa iba. So, I'm thinking, ano kaya yung ginawa ng parents ni Brina para ma-overcome niya yung intellectual disability niya na pwedeng gayahin ng ibang parents din with Down syndrome para ma-overcome din nila yung challenges nila. Yun. Anyway. I think magandang pag-aralan yun. Maybe si Dr. Francis can help us.
Retardation. And as I said in my lecture earlier, we are not calling it mental retardation anymore because it is an intellectual disability. It's the like the prototype of what intellectual disability is. However, since this is a range, there's a mild, moderate, severe, and profound, and about 20% may have very mild disabilities that they can finish high school, college, pursue any degree that they want. So that's the strict sense of the word. However, there are some who may have a learning disability. The difference between both, so that everybody will know, is that when you have a child who has a normal IQ but poor school performance, that's a learning disability. One who has low IQ and low performance, then that becomes your intellectual disability. So there are variations. And for me, it's more of what can your child do? I don't even believe in all these standardized tests that limit your child. Moms, would you agree with me? So it's finding
Yes,
your
Doc.
child's place in the sun. There are some who are exceptional artists. Nagdo-draw, kumakanta, nagpa-perform. So, yes, we need this, and many schools always ask this from us, and we tell them it's a range. And they always want what level, what IQ. So, di ba, para sa akin, parang over the 20 years that I've been practicing, let's not put them in a box. Let's find out what can they do that others can't. You've seen children with Down syndrome who can memorize lines, who are artistas, di ba? Meron yun sagli yata yung isa. Then, a lot of them have finished schooling. So, again, there are many possibilities. That's why there is a Miss Possibilities. Right, Susana? That's why you put it up because, again, let's see all the different abilities and now focus on the disability.
Sila yan. Today, sa Hatin Inclusion, may to all speakers.
Much for watching Connected with Down Syndrome. Again, I am Steph.
And I am Lexi, saying, may Almighty God bless us. Ngayong ika-4 na anibersaryo, may bagong tapang sa One Inclusion Nation. HNI, God first. Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.